Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today on Everything AeroPilates. In this video, we're going to do a lower body workout. I'm focusing mostly on our legs. You're definitely going to work your rear end as well. And as always on the AeroPilates, your core will be working throughout this entire workout. Because the focus is on our legs, we're going to go ahead and do either 2 red cords, if that's the kind of machine that you have, or 3 black cords. If you have a 3 cord with 2 black cords and 1 red cord, go ahead and do 1 red and 1 black, unless you're ready for the 2 black and the 1 red. So the 2 red is actually quite strong for me. That's the equivalent of the 3 cords, but I'm really gonna try to focus on the legs, and so that's what we're gonna start with. Let's go ahead and lie down on our backs. While we're down here, we're gonna focus on a few things. We're gonna make sure that our pelvis is not tilted. We don't wanna be pushing it down, our lower back down against the platform, and we don't wanna be overarching our back away from the platform. We just wanna kind of lay relaxed, and usually that'll get you in a neutral pelvis. And the great thing about the AeroPilates is it will support you, and as long as you're not tilting your pelvis one way or the other, you'll probably be in neutral position. But to check, you're just gonna have a slight arch right here on the small of your back. Is gonna be lightly arched away from the platform. So if you wanna check on that, that's gonna get you a neutral pelvis. So we're gonna start with the warm-up footwork, and we're going to put our knees together, our toes high on the bar, and we are gonna squeeze. If you're ready, squeeze your knees together, otherwise just keep them closed. The squeezing is gonna make this exercise all the more intense, which is great for what we're trying to do today. And you can even do 5 squeezed together, 5 a little more relaxed. We're not gonna bring them apart, but then you can just be a little more relaxed. And do 10 out like this. So squeezing, we're straightening our legs, not locking our knees, coming all the way back in. That was 1. I'm squeezing my knees. 2. You're definitely gonna feel that extra cord. 3. 4. And 5. So this would be a good time to not squeeze, but still keep your legs together if you want to break, if that was too intense. And if 3 cords is too hard for you right now, if you're really feeling it and it's uncomfortable, you can go ahead and sit up and go back down to the 2 black cords. So I'm going to continue to squeeze for the next 5. 6. I'm straightening my knees without snapping my knees. 7. 8. I'm remembering to breathe. 9, 10. Next move is the bird on a perch, where your arches are going to be on the toe bar. You can curl your toes down over the toe bar, unless you're starting to feel a cramp, and then just loosen them. But you really want your arches on the toe bar. Again, we're going to squeeze our knees for that extra intensity, and we're going to go out for 10. 1, 2, I'm squeezing together. 3, straightening my knees without snapping them. 4, 5. If this is too intense, you can go ahead and take a break right now. We're going to continue to 6. You can also just choose to not squeeze your knees together quite as tightly. 7, 8, make sure you're breathing. 9, and 10. Okay, let's go ahead and do heels. Even though this is the same warm-up footwork, with the extra cord, it makes it much more intense. I'm squeezing my knees together. I'm going to do 10 like that. You can do 5 squeezed and 5 just keeping your legs together. That's 3, 4, or you can only do 5 if this is too intense for you. 5, 6. Remember, your toes are flexing back toward your head. 7. Your heels are on the bar. 8, 9, 10. Definitely feeling that. The next thing we're going to do is our V feet, where our heels are together, our toes are apart, and we're going to go out for 10. 1. Try to keep those heels together. 2. Your toes are on the bar. 3. I'm really squeezing my knees when I come in, but I'm not snapping them. 4. I'm closing those inner thighs together. 5. 6. 7. 8. Closing that gap in the inner thighs. 9. And 10. So now we have wide feet position. I'm gonna go ahead and go on my toes. Toes are gonna be slightly turned down and my knees are gonna follow. It's almost like our V position, only very wide. It's very much like a standing plie. And we're gonna go ahead and go out for 10. 1, 2, make sure you're breathing. 3, making sure your pelvis is not tilting up or down. 4, keep it relaxed. 5, I have my hands under my hips. 6, just to help support my pelvis. 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now we're gonna do a one-leg march. Our options for a modification right here are to just stay down here and march with us without pushing away. Or if you're ready, we're gonna do a moving platform march. And it's gonna look like this. We're only gonna come out with our knees slightly bent still, bring the one foot off, come back down just a mini squat, other foot off, and we're gonna march this way. So we're gonna do 5 each leg, or you can be doing 5 each leg, just staying, not moving, right down here. If you're pushing off with me, here we go. Slightly bent knee, left leg up, back down a little, right leg up, back down a little, right, left leg up. That's 2. 2, switch feet. 3, 3. Slightly kicking my leg up. 4, 4. Last one each side. 5, 5. Okay, so to really work this lower body now in this position, we're gonna go back through and do some pulses. We're gonna do 5 in each position. We're gonna pulse at the top of the movement. So for instance, toes on the bar, high heels, knees squeezed together. I'm coming out and I'm just slightly bending my knees, slightly bending for pulses. We're gonna do that for 10. Try to squeeze your knees together if you're ready. Otherwise, just keep them together without that extra squeeze. We're gonna go slightly down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come all the way down. Okay, we're gonna do that same thing in our bird on a perch position where our arches are on the toe bar. Our toes can be curled down if that's comfortable. Otherwise, just keep those arches on the toe bar. We're gonna go ahead and go all the way out and barely bending our knees is what we're gonna do for 10. Squeezing our knees together if you're ready for that. 1, 2, make sure you're breathing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. I'm staying on the top of the motion. And because I'm doing the extra knee squeeze and inner thigh squeeze together, I'm really feeling that. But even if you're not doing the extra squeeze, you are gonna feel these motions. Now we have heels on the bar. Put your heel wherever it's comfortable and it's not gonna slip off. Flex your toes back to your head. Squeeze your knees if you're ready. And let's go all the way out. Mini pulses for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Squeeze the knees if you're with me. 7, 8, 9, 10. Make sure you're breathing throughout all of these movements. Okay, now we're gonna do V feet, heels together, toes apart, and we're gonna do the same thing with pulses. We're going to go ahead and close the gap between our thighs while we're doing this. So toes are on the bar, heels together. I'm gonna close the gap and I'm gonna barely bend my knees so I'm opening my thighs just a little to do these pulses. Let's go ahead and go for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not standing all the way up. 5, 6, 7. Squeeze while you're doing it. 8, 9, 10. Come all the way back in. Okay, so now we have wide toes left. We're gonna come out, slightly bend our knees, and we're gonna pulse for 10. 1, 2, make sure you're breathing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come all the way in. For the next exercise, we're gonna go ahead and be on all fours, face down on the platform. If your knees are not able to do that, what I want you to do is lie down on your back. Again, working with your heel on top of the toe bar. You're gonna be hip width apart, and you're gonna float your leg on top, and you're gonna be standing out with the leg. 10 each leg. Other foot for 10, flexing your toes back, That's really gonna work your tush while we're doing this other exercise. If you're able to be on the platform on all fours, go ahead and get on all fours. For this entire exercise, my neck is gonna be in line with my back. It is not gonna be slouching down. It is not gonna be breaking the line of my neck and looking up. Your knees are gonna be about hip width apart. Some people like to put their hands on the shoulder pads here, which you can do. If that is not comfortable, go ahead and come down here to the cushion pad. We're just gonna find the toe bar with our toes, keeping our legs hip width apart, and all I'm gonna do with my toes is straighten out my leg for 10. Super intense with that extra cord. Make sure your toes are not gonna slip, get a really good grip on that. And let's go ahead and come out for 10. 1. If you're following along on your back, go ahead and be on your heels, pushing out. 2. I'm straightening my leg, I'm not snapping my knee. 3. I'm almost standing on my tiptoes out here. 4. 5. Breathing through. 6. You can have your hands down here. 7. 8. 9. Just standing up to that leg. 10. Come in. Reposition. We're going to be on all fours. Our knees are hip width apart. We're going to reach back with our toes, find that toe bar, make sure that we're nice and sturdy on that toe bar, and get ready to push out for 10. 1. If you're lying on your back, your heel is hip width apart on the toe bar. 2. Make sure you're breathing. 3. Straighten your leg without snapping your knees. 4. 5. 6. 7. Breathe through it. 8. 9. 10. Okay, go ahead and take a couple seconds. Catch your breath. We're going to move on to standing leg work. For standing, we're going to go ahead and go down to 2 black cords. If you're not ready for standing, let me show you what exercises you're going to be doing. If you're not standing with me, you're going to be next to your Air Pilates on the floor. You're going to be holding on to your toe bar. You're in an upright posture. You want your hips to be over your heels, your shoulders to be over your hips, and your head and neck above your shoulders. So a nice upright, good posture. And what you're going to do is lean slightly onto your right leg, and you're going to lift out your left leg for 10 while we're pushing out on the platform. When we turn around to the other side, you're going to again check your posture, make sure you have good alignment, lean slightly onto your left leg, and lift your right leg to go out. So that's the modification. Those are the modifications that you're going to do as we're doing these. We're doing 10 of each. When you're doing standing workout, you're going to get on the stable platform first, which is this end cap. And even if you don't have this exact end cap, all of the end caps have these grippers on it that make it ready for any standing work. So we're going to step up here first, and then we're going to climb on the platform. This is my Swiffer that's going to help me go ahead and get up. So using my Swiffer, I'm going to put it on the side here, step onto my stable platform first, and then go ahead and get onto my moving platform. If you follow me along on the platform, we're on 2 cords. My foot is towards the end of the platform. You can put it in the middle, whatever is most comfortable for you. If you are a beginner, you're going to want your foot a little closer to the toe bar on the platform. It's going to keep you from going out too far. If you actually are very flexible and are more advanced, you can put your foot further out, and you're going to be able to do more of a split that way. I like to put mine closer to the toe bar. So we are also going to make sure that we're aligned. We're going to make sure that our hips are even. One foot is not in front of the other. Because if we have a toe line and our toes are lined up onto it, and then we're going to go ahead and make sure we're standing up straight, good posture, good alignment. We're going to kind of go out. You can put your hands on your hips if that's comfortable. I leave mine down to the side usually. If you need a little extra balance, you can put your arms out to the side. We're just going to push through our foot on the platform to scoot the platform out towards the pulley risers or the head of our platform. So let's go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're following along up on the AeroPilates, let's go ahead and do the other side. Standing on the stable surface. My foot is closer to my toe bar. You can go out if you want a wider stance. I'm going to go ahead and put up my arms for the first 5 for balance. You can keep them up. And let's go. 1, 2, breathe, 3, 4, 5. So for these standing exercises, you're only going to push out at your own level. In all of these exercises, the whole time we're going to really focus on having an upright posture. We want to be standing up straight. We want to have good alignment while we're doing these exercises. So now it's time for legs and straps. For legs and straps, to challenge ourselves, we're going to have 1 red and 1 black cord on. If you only have black cords, this is a good time to use your 2 most common cords that you use most often and 1 extra cord. The 2 that you use most often are going to be a little looser than the other cords. You're going to have to try this out and see. If you're still getting to know your machine, I highly recommend starting with the 2 cords. If you've been doing this for a while, you might try that extra 3rd cord. But the most important thing is what's comfortable for you, what you feel like you can handle. So once you've made your cord selection, let's go ahead and lie down on our backs. We're going to grab our handles off our shoulder pads, straighten our legs, and you're going to get 1 foot in your strap. I'm kind of doing a modified lasso, and I just flick it on, push through that leg. You're already going to feel that extra strength. Put the other one in the strap, and we're going to go ahead and start in just this stretch position. You've been working those legs, so they probably are a little tight. This stretch is going to be great for it. Hold that for a few seconds and go ahead and take a couple breaths. Our legs are parallel, and I'm putting my hands under my hips here so that I don't strain my lower back. And I'm going to go ahead and do 5 down, keeping my feet together. 1, 2, 3. I'm taking my time so I can feel a stretch on the way up. 4. I'm definitely feeling this in my hip flexors, which are just weak. 5. Okay, next I'm going to slightly open my legs to hip width, and I'm going to do leg lowers that way. 1, 2, 3. This is working a different muscle. 4. Stretching a different when I come in. 5. Bringing my legs out to 45 degrees, I'm going to go ahead and do the walking on the ceiling or coordination. This is when I'm bringing 1 knee into my chest and letting my other leg go straight up into the air. And we're going to do this with a slight twist where I'm going to turn out my feet for this. So I have V feet, my heels are together, my toes are apart, and I'm going to bring my knee in. When I bring it in, it's going to be slightly turned out, and my other leg, because it's turned out, is going to stretch into a different position than what we normally do. And I'm going to go ahead and start with my left leg. So I'm bending it in that turned out position, and you can see that now my right leg, instead of stretching straight towards me, is going slightly out. This is turned slightly out, stretching down in my hips, pushing back together in a turned out position. Bring my right knee in, still turned out. My left leg is turned out and goes up. My right foot is turned out and is stretching in my hip flexors and on my rear. I'm going to push back out. And we're going to do 5 on each side for that. So, V feet. Left leg comes in, slightly turned out. Right leg is turned out and goes stretched out more to the right side instead of straight up to my shoulders. Push together. V feet. Right foot comes in, it's slightly turned out. Left foot is straight in the air but slightly turned out, so it's turning slightly away from my body, not straight to my shoulder like it has been in the other workouts. Pushing my feet together. V feet. Left knee comes in, slightly turned out. Right leg is out to the side. Push out to V feet. Right knee comes in. Left foot is stretched slightly to the side. This is 2. Push out. Left knee comes in. Right leg is out to the side. 3. Push out, V feet. Right knee comes in. Left is Left foot is slightly out to the side. That's 3. Push out, V feet. Left knee comes in. Right leg is slightly out to the side. That's 4. Push out, V feet. Right knee comes in, slightly turned out. Left leg is turned out. Push back together. This is the last on each side. So V feet. Legs are slightly turned out. Left knee comes in, slightly turned out. Right leg is up to an angle. Push back together. V feet slightly turned out. Right knee comes out, comes down. Left leg goes out at an angle. Push back in. Okay guys, we're gonna finish up with leg circles, 5 each way. So we're gonna start out, down, together and up. Out, down, together and up. 2. Out, down, together and up. 3. Out, down, together, up. 4. Out, down, together, up. 5. Let us stretch in the middle here. Next we're going to go down, out, up, together. Down, out, up, together. That's 2. 3. Down, out, up, together. 4. Down, out, up, together. 5. Whew. Go ahead and take a stretch. You can stretch straight up. You can go ahead and widen your legs. Go as wide as you need to go. What's great is that the straps will support you so that you're not going to hurt yourself, and you can guide with your hands and let yourself go as wide as you need. Or if the stretch is getting too intense, go ahead and pull them back in with your straps. When you're done stretching, go ahead and bend one knee slightly. Take the strap off. Find the toe bar. Take the other strap off. Find the toe bar. Go ahead and put your straps back on your shoulder pads. And we are ready for cool down. So to begin our cool down, we're gonna push out. If you're able to, you're gonna flex your right foot, cross it over your left knee. If you cannot do that, if you're not ready for that stretch, the modification is gonna be to grab the top of your right knee and slowly pull it towards your chest as much as possible. You might be way up here. If you can't grab the top of your knee, go ahead and grab behind, not at the joint, but just below the joint, and pull that thigh into you. If you're ready, you have your flexed foot crossed over your knee, and you're gonna come slowly in for that stretch. We're gonna go back out, slowly in for the stretch. We're doing 5 of these. Out, slowly in for the stretch. Here's 4. Come in. Here's 5. Come in. And now we're going to get on our tippy toes on our toe bar. Press that leg closer to us. Use our other hand to gently push the knee down and stretch. Hold it and you can rock back and forth slightly. If you have that knee into your chest, again, you can rock back and forth slightly. Next side, if you're doing the modification, you're grabbing the top of your knee and pulling it down into your chest, or you're grabbing behind on your lower thigh, not on the joint, and pulling your thigh down towards you. That's the modification for this stretch. But if you're ready, go ahead and flex your left foot, cross it over your right knee, and come in for 5. 1, stretch out. 2, stretch out. 3, don't snap your knees while you're doing this. 4, and 5. Now we're going to, now the foot that's on the toe bar is going to go ahead and wiggle to its tippy toes, pushing this heel back towards you, and I'm going to gently push the knee to get a deeper stretch. Holding that. Breathing through all our stretches, and when we're ready, slowly rocking back and forth in that position. Again, if you're holding your knee in, rocking back and forth. If you're holding the back of your thigh, rocking back and forth. So now for a little bit of a lower back stretch, we're going to make sure our headrest is flat. If you have a pillow, go ahead and take it out right now. Remain on our toes, hip width apart on the toe bar. And we're going to go ahead and curl up. We're going to peel our pelvis up first. Then lift our waist all the way until we're on top of our shoulders. We're gonna do 3 of these. So curl your pelvis up, lift your waist, up on your shoulders, hold, curl back down through your waist, down through your pelvis, and come down. Let's do 2. Pelvis curls up, waist is up, hold on your shoulders, waist curls down, pelvis curls down, and that's 2. Last one, pelvis is curling up, waist curls up to your shoulders, waist curls down, pelvis curls down, and that's 3. We're ready for running. We're gonna straighten our legs. For running, one knee is gonna bend while the other heel goes under the toe bar. Then the other knee is gonna bend while the next heel goes under the toe bar. You can begin with either side. I'm gonna go ahead and bend my right knee up first and let my left heel go under the toe bar. And then I'm gonna go back to tippy toes for both feet. Left knee bends, right heel goes under the toe bar. So let's go ahead and do that for 10 each side. Let's go ahead and do that for 10 each side. 1, 1, 2, 2. Really try to get that heel under. 3, 3. We're pretending somebody's down there pulling it under. 4, 4. Feel that stretch. 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Nice and slow. 9, 9. Make sure you're breathing. 10, and 10. Go ahead and come in. For our last 2 lower body stretches, we're going to do elephant and Eaves lunge. Your modification for your elephant is to hold on to this toe bar, push back away from it. Your legs are going to be in line with your hips, holding onto the toe bar, pushing back away from it. You can have your knees slightly bent, and that's going to be your modification for your elephant. You're going to bend your knees, stand up straight, bend your knees, stand up straight. All of that's going to be while you're holding onto your toe bar. If you're doing the full elephant with me, let's get on the platform. If you're taller, your heels are going to be back to your shoulders. If you're shorter like myself, your feet are going to be under your hips. You're going to push away from your toe bar. Your upper body's going to be still. Your head's going to stay between your arms the entire time, pushing back through your heels. 1, come in. Lifting up through your tailbone when you come in. 2, come in. And I'm going to push my head a little closer to my knees when I come in. 3, come in. 4, lift up and put your head closer. 5, 6, 7, my upper body's not moving. 8, I'm pushing through my heels, lifting up my tailbone. 9, breathe through it. And 10. Bending my knees. Now we're ready for my favorite stretch, Eaves lunge. To do Eaves lunge, our toes are going to go back against the shoulder pads. I'm going to have my weight on the top of the knee or the bottom of the thigh, so I can lift up like this, position correctly. My left foot is next to the toe bar, and I'm going to push back for 5. My first 3 are going to be I'm making sure that I'm aligned upright and my hips are facing the same direction as my toe bar. I'm going to push away with my arms through my toe bar into my hip. First 3 a little more shallow. 1, 2, 3. These last 2 I'm going to go a little further back. 4 and 5. Now I feel no pressure on my knee because I'm on the top of my knee. To the other side, I have my toes going back to my shoulder pad. I'm on the top of my knee. So I just lift up my leg until I get that right position. That's not quite there. I'm going to be at the top of my knee, bottom of my thigh. My hips are going to be squared off towards the same direction as the toe bar. And I'm going to push away for 3, shallow. 1, 2, 3, and these last 2 are going to be much deeper. 4, and 5. So that is just one of many lower body routines that you can do on your AeroPilates. There are so many more exercises that I did not do today that I hope to do some other time that work on this AeroPilates. So stay tuned for those. Remember to follow the modifications if the exercise is not working for you. If the modification is not working for you, go ahead and skip that entire exercise. So do what you can as you're building up your strength with this machine. And thank you for joining me today. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments below, and I will see you next time on Everything AeroPilates. Bye guys.